Alright, I think ngokumasikhe sikhangela uLebo eParliament ingathi siyamfumana ingathi ukhona umuntu ancokola naye pha eParliament masithi tsi gqatha sijonge eParliament eKapa ngalomzuzu mbukeli.
Watch the State of the Nation address. But earlier we are treated by scenes of women in lovely outfits looking very ravishing and guys looking debonair in their lovely local attires. But now we are joined by proudly South Africa CEO, Mr. Mashimbye. Mr. Mashimbye, tell us about the campaign calling for people to dress local.
No, thank you, Lebo. So we started the campaign a few years ago, and the intention was to really get leaders of society who converge here and who congregate here for the State of the Nation address to be the ones that lead this revolution of getting South Africans to choose their locally made products every time they make purchasing decisions. And we thought, there's a lot of money being spent by those who attend this event, whether they're the parliamentarians themselves, cabinet ministers, or even the guests who are leaders of society as well. And so the thinking was that we get as many of them as possible to redirect their spending, which previously would have gone to other countries and other retailers who don't necessarily, have any value addition happening in the country. And so that's really the intention behind using this industry that is labor intensive, that creates a lot of jobs, to be the one that people can learn from in terms of how they can support and grow the need and respond to the need that we have for jobs to be created within the economy.
I understand that you've also challenged the president to dress local. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so a few years ago we went and visited the president, and we really applaud the president and his team, because his team was very warm to the idea that, we gave them a list of retailers that they could go to get shirts and socks, and we told him where to go get his suit tailored for him, and we went to House of Monarch here in Cape Town. And at that point, it was really to introduce the conversation. So the president did it in the first year, told us where he got his suit and shirt and tie, and subsequent to that, we then invited everyone who attends the State of the Nation address to also do the same. And so that's the thinking, that every year people who come here, who spend a lot of money on clothes, can spend that money supporting the economy. People are saying we must vote for them. They're saying they will create jobs. So what better way to show us by starting with what they are wearing when they come to this event.
But Mr. Mashimbye, people are saying that local brands are very expensive. The overheads, obviously. How do we navigate that?
Look, it's not always the case. look at how much people are spending when they go to Diamond Walk and all of these walks that are in the high-end malls. And people buy Italian designer suits and clothes that comes from what are considered fashion capitals in the world. And they spend much more on that. I just think we must not degrade local to a point where we want to spend less on it, but when we buy the same quality from brands that come out from outside of the country, we don't want to pay the same. And so we know as South African that this is what we do daily, that it depends on which segment of the market that specific product is targeted at. South African products are not necessarily always expensive. The high-end luxury goods that come out of South Africa are obviously expensive, but when you compare them with the high-end luxury goods that come from outside of the country, they're reasonably priced.
Mr. Mashimbye, you made the call, but then how are you educating South Africans?
So as South African, we run campaigns throughout the year. We have campaigns where we get South Africans themselves to do a similar thing as this. The difference is that the campaign that runs between August and December, where we say to South Africans they must pose themselves wearing clothes that are made in South Africa, showing the country of origin label on that garment they are wearing, and tagging even the fashion designer or the retailer or the CMT that has made their clothes. And it's called Local Fashion Police. We ran that campaign for a few months, and I can tell you that in the 5 years that we've run that campaign, the number of entries of people who post themselves on social media has grown a lot, showing that more and more South Africans are now conscious of where the clothes they're buying are coming from. But most importantly, you can see through the taglines and the captions that South Africans understand. When South Africans post and they say, for example, I'm making a difference, I'm contributing, it shows you that South Africans understand. So we'll continue to run campaigns, we'll continue to partner like we're partnering with Parliament now to ensure that whenever opportunities arise to spread the narrative of buying local in order to create jobs, we will do so.
And then earlier we were treated to a fashion show where the design or the models were looking very ravishing and great. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so those models are dressed by designers that we work with. We have a cohort of designers. Every year we add, 5, 6 new designers to this campaign that we're running. And in fact, that has become sort of, the cohort that people can go to. It's like the catalog of choice. There are options for you as a consumer. Depending on the style that you want, we've made sure that there's a designer that you can go and buy from. And besides these ones that you saw today, there are many others that continue to approach us to say, I also make stuff in South Africa. It's also high quality, vet it, because we do vet. We vet that the quality is right, that the quality can compete against the best in the world, and that is what we were showcasing. We're not just saying to people buy local, but really the quality is there, the class is there, the style is there, the opulence is there. So it depends on what your taste is. We have everything for everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Mashimbye. We're here in Parliament where decisions are to be made, and we hope that the President will heed the call by proudly calling for people to dress local. I'm Lebo Tshangela here at the City of Cape Town Hall. Back to studio.
Ukanti ke mbukeli lo obumbona ngalomzuzu binguYulebo Tshangela encokola naye ingqonyela pha Proudly South Africa Mr Eustace Mashimbye bencokola ke ngokubaleka kokuqaqambisa ukanti intengiso kwakunye nemveliso yaseMzantsi Afrika bencokola ke nangemiba yokuthi amaxabiso mhlambi ngabe kanti axhomile kwizinto local but uyaqinisekisa ke yena ke phaya ingqonyela Proudly South Africa ukuba ixhomeke kubeni uthengaphi ube uthenga ntoni na, but one thing for sure that he can assure you is that quality is there, and of course nayo into ba assurance yokuthi into zithenga zisemgangathweni eqinisekisa